Let's look at Genesis chapter 3, verses 1 through 7. We're going to look at how the enemy came at Eve so we can make sure that we don't make the same mistakes as Eve did, because he's still coming at us on today. Now, I'm going to paraphrase so that we can get through these passages and we can get to some points. And it starts off with this serpent in the garden coming to her, and he asked her a question. He said, hey, did God really say that you could not eat of the fruit, in this garden? And she was like, nah, that's not what he said. We can eat of all these trees in the garden. We just can't eat of that one particular tree. We can't even touch that fruit. He said, if we touch it or eat it, we're going to surely die. He was like, you're not going to die. God knows that if you eat that tree, you're going to be wise, just like him, knowing both good and evil. And she was like, word, I want that fruit. Looks good. It's going to make me wise. I want that too. She eats it, gives some to her husband. And at that moment, once he eats it, eyes are open and they realize that they are naked and sin enters into the world. And let's point out what the enemy did. Number one, I recognize the fact that the enemy came to her as a serpent. Is there anything suspicious about a serpent being in the garden? No. Okay. So he's incognito. He doesn't want to raise any awareness. He wants you to be off guard and not knowing that it is him. So we need to be able to recognize when he is in the midst. He still uses things and people today to trip us up. He'll be on your job using people, using situations in your family, in traffic. He'll be in the midst, and you need to be able to recognize when it's him trying to get you to do something outside of what God has called you to do, or to act and behave outside of how God has called you to. Okay. So when we recognize that it's him, we can be on guard. She was not on guard, and all that conversation and that stuff that entertaining him just she was doing allowed him a way in. He found the way up, but wait, you're not going to be like, that's a lie. You won't die. You will be more like him. So we need to recognize the setup. The setup is to make it appealing to you to make the choice to go against God. Okay. So he told her, you're going to be wise and you'll be, all good and evil. It'll be with us like, hey, you're going to be closer to home. If you take that job, you're going to make more money. You're going to have this kind of status. You're going to have this kind of influence. Whatever gets to you, he's going to make it appealing to you so that you can make the decision to go against God. And it worked here. Eve made the decision. She went against God. But guess what he did? Also, he left her holding the bag. You need to recognize that you're the one going to be left with them consequences. Okay. Because he left them out. Now, you can pick the sin. You cannot pick the consequences. So you might be like, well, what's the problem? All I did was try to better myself. All I did was just eat from this fruit and then nobody get harmed in it in the process. The problem is that you went against God. Okay, so whenever we go against God, there are consequences. And this one had major consequences. So recognize when it's him, recognize the setup, and recognize you got to deal with them consequences. All right. My takeaways would be in the comment section. Please drop yours in as well. And see you next time.